Hi, this is Emily. Today I'm going to talk about my deficiencies in B12 and vitamin D. So I just found out 6 months ago that I do have a B12 deficiency. In my opinion, when it comes to B12, everyone needs to go get checked. Hurry, run, and go get it checked. Because it's one of those things that creeps up on you and you don't realize, you feel fine, but you may have a B12 deficiency. So I decided to get mine checked 6 months ago. I had never checked B12 before in the past. So I just decided now's the time. And it turned out that my B12 was low. And that was 6 months ago. So I just had my B12 rechecked in November and I got my test results back. So I want to talk about that. So I'm going to look at my laptop. Okay. So 6 months ago when I had my B12 tested, my test result was 576. Okay? 576. That is way out of range. So let me go where it tells you what the range is supposed to be. Okay, so you're supposed to be between 87 and 318. And my test score was 500 and something. So I was way above 318. And in the world of B12, having a higher number means that you're actually low in B12. And my doctor at the time told me, you have a small deficiency, so we should start nipping this in the bud before it gets out of control. And so I'm like, okay. So he recommended that I take 1,000 micrograms of B12. It's also called methylmalonic acid, apparently. Or that's the name of the test? I don't know. Either one. This really isn't my area of expertise. I just know what it says on my test results. So yeah, my score was 570 something and it shouldn't be over 318. So in order to get that number to come down, I needed to supplement. And this is what I started out supplementing with. The brand is Jarrow, and as you see right here, it's 5,000 micrograms. That's a lot of B12, okay. These are chewable. They actually have a cherry taste, very mild, and let's see, it's methylcobalamin is what this is called. And if you go many years with your B12 levels out of whack, it can cause nervous system damage, and I'm not sure what else. Maybe brain damage as well. I'm not sure. I would cut it into quarters, or sometimes I would just cut it in half, and I would take that daily. So I was taking anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 micrograms per day, which is more than what my doctor recommended. He was recommending 1,000 micrograms. So I was trying to get closer to 1,000. Yeah, a lot, okay? So I was trying to get closer to 1,000. So there's 5 pills left in here that I may end up taking. But I actually switched. So I took this from June or July when I started taking this, and then I was cutting these in half. And then in September, I was coming down with a cold. And I had also read up about folate and how if you're deficient in folate at all, it can come up with a false positive on a B12 test. So I decided I wanted to take a multi-B complex that would have both folate and B12 in it. And I found a brand that has both B12 and folate from plant sources. A lot of people think that folic acid and folate are the same thing, but really folic acid is the synthetic version. And if you look at the studies that have been done on folic acid, it's really not the healthiest option. The healthiest option is folate. And you can get folate from just eating food. I think it's mostly in green vegetables, but I decided to take a B complex that would have both. So this is Mega Food Balanced B Complex. Okay, I bought this on Amazon. I think, or you know what? No, I didn't. I bought this in a vitamin store. Forgot about that. So this has more than just the B12 and folate. It has quite a few different, it has pretty much all the B vitamins in here, I think. But it's got, for folate, it has 400 micrograms. And for B12, it has 125 micrograms. So 125 for B12 is a lot less than 1,000 micrograms every day, which is what my doctor was recommending. But I really wanted to try this. So I've been taking this since probably the end of September. So I took it all through October and November, and then I went and got my blood tested. And my blood tests are great now. So I went from, what did I say? My test score was like 570. Now it's down to 205. So that's a pretty huge improvement, don't you think? Oh, yes. Normal for B12 is 87 through 318. And now I'm at 205. So I'm completely in the normal range. And my doctor recommended I just continue supplementing basically forever. Remember, this did have lots of folate, so it could have been that I wasn't getting enough folate, because that can cause a false positive on a B12 test if you're deficient in folate. So that's just something I Googled. I just hope it's true, okay? And then the other thing is, so when he ordered my B12 test just recently, he also ordered, my doctor also ordered a vitamin D test, because I asked for a vitamin D 6 months ago and he forgot to write that in. So I never was tested for vitamin D until just recently. So let me pull up my test results for that. Okay, so the normal range is 20 to 80. Okay, 20 to 80. For Kaiser Permanente, that's where my doctor is at. It's 20 to 80 is normal. My vitamin D came back at 18. So I didn't quite get 20. I'm just a little bit low. And so my doctor said he wants me to take 2,000 IUs of vitamin D every day, ongoing until we recheck in 6 months. So I'm going to recheck this in 6 months. So I have a couple different products here. My husband does have a vitamin D deficiency. He's had it for many years. So we've got vitamin D3 with vitamin A. This is 400 IU. And I'm sorry, but there's like a stain on it. It looks kind of gross. But it's 400 per pill. And I'm supposed to take 1,000, so I would need to take like 3 of these and then get 1,200. So I will take these, but sometimes if I forget to take a pill, then I take these droppers. This actually works a lot better, I've found. I bought this about 6 months ago for my husband, and we've been a lot better about actually taking the vitamin D for him and now for me, because we have this dropper. So 1 drop has 1,000 IU. So all I have to do is put 1 drop in my water, in my juice, in my food, in anything. And it's got a lemon flavor, which does kind of, you can taste it, but it's not like sweet or anything. let's see. There's also coconut oil and then natural lemon flavor. That's what's in here with the vitamin D. So I'm supposed to take 1 drop every day. And I usually give my husband more like 5 drops, or he will give himself around that much. Like literally when we go to sit down at dinner, we have this sitting on the coffee table because we usually sit in front of the TV to eat dinner. And I just say, hey, remember your vitamin D? And then he puts this on his food. And this is fat soluble. So you have to take vitamin D with fat, which is maybe why there's coconut oil in here. Now that I just realized, maybe that's the reason. Because your body cannot absorb vitamin D, apparently, if you don't have fat with it. So at our dinner meal, I usually include flax seeds or maybe some nuts in there just to make sure we have some fat with our vitamin D. So really that's it. So one thing that I did not inform my YouTube and Instagram friends about is we actually just went on a road trip. We went on vacation the day after my last video was uploaded, my November weight loss video. I was in a super huge hurry because we were going on vacation, and we took a road trip, which I was super excited about. And I'm still like on cloud 9 because I love road trips. I love seeing the scenery of areas that I've never been to before. And so this is what we did. I also love Disneyland. Yep, I love Disney. And so we actually drove from, I live about an hour-ish south of Portland, Oregon, and we drove all the way to Anaheim and went to Disneyland for a couple days and then turned around and came back on a different route. So I've never really been to California. I've only been to California to go to Disneyland. I know it's kind of sad, but I go to Disneyland like every 5 years. I don't know, something like maybe like every 7 years. I don't know. And I've never really seen anything else of California. So we drove all the way down there. We stayed the night in Redding. We took I-5 all the way to Redding, spent the night, and then took I-5 down to LA and stayed the night. Stayed a couple nights. 2 or 3 nights, I don't know, something like that, and we had a wonderful time. But something I wanted to share with you is before we left, a couple weeks before we left, I actually compiled a list of plant-based foods that you can eat at Disneyland. Isn't that cool? So I found these blogs. There's like 2 or 3 blogs that you can find on I don't know, like if you Google vegan Disneyland blog, there's a few, and they will show you pictures of food that's vegan, vegetarian, all that kind of stuff. And I actually compiled all of this information and put it into a Word document, and then I printed it out so that I knew what I could eat at Disneyland. So this is the list. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 pages long. And I just wanted to say that we had a great vacation, had a great time at Disneyland because we knew exactly what we could eat at each vendor, at each restaurant, little like fruit stand. They do have like fruit stands and stuff at Disneyland. And we knew what we could eat and how to order it, which substitutions to make, because really awesome plant-based people have been there before us and put this list together. And then I could just compiled it, so I had this whole list. So I just want to say, if you are planning to go to Disneyland, let me know. Send me an email and I will attach this Word document and send it to you. So my email address is persimmondancer@gmail.com. It's just persimmondancer@gmail. So that's super easy. And, you know, just email me and say, hey, can I have that list of Disneyland food? And I'll send it to you. And then a lot of this is like vegetarian. And then they have certain things they'll say vegan next to it. I don't know if you can see vegan, and then everything else is like vegetarian, you know, the other options. So we were able to eat a vegan diet the time that we were at Disneyland. That's pretty awesome. Because I honestly didn't think, I thought we were like gonna have to eat salad with no dressing the entire time. But then I did this research and found out they actually have quite a few things that are vegan. And so yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Santa Rosa. If any of you ever go to Santa Rosa, you've got to go to this restaurant. We stayed there the whole time we were driving. I would go on Yelp on my phone and see what is there that we can eat, you know, as we're driving around. Yelp is so helpful. And in Santa Rosa, California, there is this restaurant called Gaia's Garden. Gaia's Garden. And it is a buffet style, it's a salad bar, and then all the food is vegan friendly for those of you who care. It's like the healthiest meal I had on this entire vacation. So it was wonderful. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks so much for watching.